Freedom of speech is a road that seemingly ends when it reaches the home of a rabid Islamist. There are no ifs and no buts when the Islamic faith is involved in any conversation. Netflix, the streaming major, has learnt it the hard way as Mumbai-based cult group Raza Academy has started to come after it for releasing a poster for its much-awaited Tamil anthology Navarasa. The poster featured verses from the Quran and it was enough for the Islamists to get riled up. This is not the first time that Islamists have had their tails up, for they have come aggressively to cancel anyone espousing anything un-Islamic. From Charlie Hebdo to Samuel Paty to the BBC and to Salman Rushdie, the Islamists have had a long illustrious history of using blasphemy as a reason to curb free speech. Hi and welcome. You're watching TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Atul Mishra, and in this video I will tell you how the woke OTT giant Netflix has become the real target of radical Islamists for just quoting verses from the Quran in a poster, and perhaps for the first time the OTT platform will understand how tolerant Hindus have been despite the platform frequently releasing content that promotes Hinduphobia. On that note, let's begin. More woke than most, online streaming giant Netflix has received its taste of secularism in India after radical Islamists on the realms of social media platforms demanded strict action against the company for publishing verses from the Quran in the promotional poster for its show Navarasa. Leading the charge in the movement was the Raza Academy, which is notorious for pushing a radical idea of Islam while claiming to promote Islamic beliefs through publications and research. A portion of the Quran features in the background of the poster made for the web series Navarasa, a Tamil series produced by the legendary director Mani Ratnam. In protest, the Raza Academy tweeted, "Netflix has published a verse of the Quran in the advertisement of its film Navarasa in Delhi Tanti newspaper. This is an insult to the Quran. We demand strict action against Netflix India." Taking the cue, other rabid Islamists also joined in the movement and started demanding action against Netflix. Abuses started flowing freely against Netflix as the platform was called Children of Haram and Haramzada. Freedom of expression in India, as I earlier told you, is a slippery slope. After this brush with reality, the likes of Netflix will come to realize how tolerant Hindus are when it comes to creative liberty, which the woke executives of the platform take for granted when publishing Hinduphobic content. It is simply a poster, and yet the Islamists are gunning for the banning of the platform. One can only imagine the backlash if and when the show comes out with any minuscule content targeting Muslims. Raza Academy, the organization in the midst of the controversy, has had numerous such rendezvous in the past. In October 2020, Raza Academy threatened to file a case against the Maharashtra government if they did not give permission to carry out the Eid-e-Milad procession. Similarly, the Academy had urged the Muslim countries to issue a fatwa against French President Emmanuel Macron for supporting free speech. As reported by TFI, Macron had talked about how the Muslims in France were trying to create a parallel society and promoting Islamic separatism within the country. A parallel order to erect other values, develop another organization of society, separatist at first, but whose final goal is to take control. And this is what makes us reject freedom of expression, freedom of conscience, the right to blasphemy, said Macron in a speech delivered a few days before the beheading of Samuel Paty by Islamists. As mentioned, 47-year-old Samuel Paty was beheaded by Islamists for allegedly showing students cartoons of Prophet Muhammad and asking Muslim students to leave the class if they felt uncomfortable. Earlier, Charlie Hebdo, a satirical news website in France, was attacked by radical Islamists for displaying a cartoon on Prophet Muhammad. The terrorists identified themselves as belonging to the Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda, killed 12 people while injuring 11 others. In February, the Mumbai-based Raza Academy even forced the champion of the left liberal brigade in upholding the journalistic integrity, the mighty BBC, to go down on its hunches and apologize, after a complaint was registered against the media organization for hurting the sentiments of Muslims by disrespecting Prophet Muhammad in one of their shows. BBC tendered an unconditional apology. Iqbal Ahmed, a BBC employee, was heard in an audio recording apologizing on behalf of BBC, which went viral on social media platforms. He stated, "We profusely apologize for depicting such an image on our show that hurts sentiments of many. The BBC has also decided to remove the objectionable contents from the video, and we are ready to accept any of your demands." Raza Academy had also demanded a ban on the Iranian movie Muhammad, the Messenger of God, for portraying the Prophet in a bad light. And like a subservient slave, the Uddhav Thackeray government wilted and banned the release of the controversial film, citing it to be blasphemous. As also reported by TFI in April this year, in a shocking turn of events which once again showed the level of intolerance Islamists harbor even for moderate Muslims, a library set up by a daily wage laborer in 2011 was set up on fire by narrow-minded Muslims late at night. The owner of the library, Sayyid Ishaq, a 62-year-old moderate Muslim man who attempted to popularize Kannada and eradicate hatred for the regional language, was distraught as his life's work was reduced to ashes by brethren from his own community. Similarly, after the Excise Commissioner of Jammu and Kashmir last year proposed to set up liquor shops across the Union Territory on 183 locations, Islamists came out in numbers to oppose the move on religious lines, as if Kashmir was a sovereign Sharia state within the Union of India. It must be remembered that consumption of alcohol is haram in Islam, and this particular tenet was forming the crux of majority of the opposition which the move is facing. However, J&K is a part of India, and other than Muslims, people of all faiths reside there. Islamists coming after anyone talking about their prophet or their religion is not a new phenomenon. Before cancel culture even existed, Islamists were baying for the blood of those that spoke anything against their faith. Salman Rushdie, the Man Booker Prize winner, found it the hard way when he was cancelled by Islamists and was threatened with his life for publishing the novel The Satanic Verses. Many Muslims accused Rushdie of blasphemy or unbelief, and in 1989, the Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini of Iran issued a fatwa ordering Muslims to kill Rushdie. Numerous killings, attempted killings, and bombings resulted in response to the novel. While the most offended resort to online platforms and file petitions, the highly motivated Islamists go to uncharted and untoward lengths to make their demands heard. Raza Academy is just a tiny manifestation of the larger ideology at work.